Thanks, Tony. My name is Tyler Weldon. I'm the CDOT State Maintenance Engineer, and I'm here today to talk about the CDOT Autonomous Truck Mounted Attenuator, our ATMA program. We've been working on this program for about 4 years, and we have two vehicles in operations currently. Next slide, please. What is an ATMA? It is a truck-mounted, slow-moving attenuator that we use to protect our painting operation. Our painting operation runs about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And I was trying to relate it to weather a little bit, but highway painting is a weather dependent operation. So I think that can connect quite well to this forum. We're using our protection vehicle to follow our painter. We are taking the driver out of the attenuator truck, and I'll explain a little bit more about how that is done. But importantly, the goals of the program are to remove the driver from the maintenance truck, decrease the risk of the operations by removing that driver, increase efficiency of operations, and pursue cutting edge technology. So we really are hitting all those goals with this project. And that lower picture, you can see what happens when an errant vehicle hits your attenuator. It's quite a mess. Next slide, please. So we're able to take the driver out by using a ECRUM type technology where we're using antennas and vector information as far as speed and direction. It's almost like a tethered operation. It's not truly very autonomous. The driver is out of the system, but it is almost a tethered system. So it's following it close behind. We can spread our gap all the way up to the 1,500 feet if is about our max. But what it does is allows a DOT to retrofit their existing equipment. So it's actually a kit sold by Kratos to with all the parts and pieces that can connect into your truck. And what it does is it has fingers on the steering wheel, some actuators that control the brake pedals and the accelerator and the steering wheel. So you're able to keep up with that leader truck velocity while you're doing slow moving operations such as painting. Next slide. So currently we're operating in 2 locations in Colorado. Down in the Southwest, we have our most recent deployment in the Alamosa paint crew. And then our first deployment, which is up in Greeley. And I saw that Philip Anderley was on the call. So he's familiar with that part of Colorado. Good to see you on the call. And we're allowed to operate in some of our lower volume roads. The blue roads are 2,500 to 5,000 ADT and so on. And we chose to base our operations on those deployment, not necessarily based on speed limit, but just a lower volume of traffic. And that just allows us to get our program up and going, learn the systems, which is really important, and build that trust of the system. Next slide. Along with the program, in parallel, we started a pool fund, the AMT, Autonomous Maintenance Technology Fund, pool fund. And we have multiple states participating in that. California has done a deployment, Minnesota. Good to see you, Dan, on the call. I'm sure you're familiar with Minnesota's deployment. Missouri has also deployed, and Oklahoma is working on it. And so what we've done is we're trying to pass on our information and our lessons learned from Colorado with the other DOTs across the state to kind of help with the deployment. That's the real focus of this, and worker safety. So it really is a passionate project. We're making a lot of progress, and we're excited to share this information with you. Next slide. So part of the lessons learned is we've put together a ATMA toolkit. There's different stages of ATMA deployment, whether that's legislative okay, all the way up to operations. You have to figure out the training. You have to figure out SOPs. There's a lot to it. We meet weekly, Wednesday morning for our Wednesday morning call, and we keep after it. And we just kind of keep the program going. And we meet monthly with the pool fund to share that information. Next slide. So some of the lessons learned from Colorado is really an interdisciplinary approach. We have many divisions involved, whether that's the research division. You get to know your fleet manager. I'm sure you guys with the DRSC signal thing, you'll really get to know your snowplow fleet operators. It's important to have these partnerships. You get to know procurement, trying to buy this technology. So really it's a DOT team approach with these types of technology. And it's important to have a lead sponsoring DOT division. So Division of Maintenance and Operations was a leader in this. And we're working with the CAVS program as it's matured to work with us with it. And then again, like I said, procurement challenges, buying new technology is always challenging. Some other major lessons learned are managing your expectations. There is a lot of work with these high-tech systems and understanding that there is troubleshooting and that it is a work in progress. And I'm proud to report that we are making a difference. I talked to the guys from Alamosa just this morning. They're happy the system's working. It is fully integrated and the crews are using it, and it's just becoming part of their equipment. So it's important to have that crew level champion, I would say also. There's a lot of turnover in crews right now, as everyone knows. So it's important to have that one point of contact who can call the vendor and kind of work through the troubleshooting. But it's important to identify that person and really support them. And as things have evolved, we've really tailored the training system to our DOT operations. A lot of times you'll have training from the vendor about the system, but you really need to integrate this into how your DOT does the operations. Next slide. And that was it. That was my 5-minute presentation. For more information, you can contact me at my email below.